reflections on the first couple of games this year. What do you make? And your ace so far started off 0-2, but yet you're in second place, 5-4.
Yeah, we're a half game out. You know, we had a big series at home where we hit 2 grand slams in 2 separate games in a doubleheader to win games. But pitching has been much better so far than hitting, other than a couple of games. But you know, the last 2 games, our offense started to come alive a little bit. I know that they're going to hit. You know, there's 7 guys that played in the big leagues in that lineup, so they were struggling. And a couple of them were struggling real bad. But they showed a little bit of a turnaround in the last series in Southern Maryland. So and then we just signed Charlie Tilson, so he's here today. So he's another former guy that played in the big leagues. I know he played with the White Sox. I'm not sure who else with, but he's got speed. He can run, so we should be okay if we don't keep losing pitching.
You had some weather issues early on.
It's been terrible. The weather's been bad. I mean, here we couldn't play opening day. We had to play doubleheader on Saturday. We need this week to be like last week was, and it's not going to be. But you know, I mean, we're going to get some rain today for sure. But it just basically it sucks. You know, I mean, we're looking for big crowds. The guys are used to playing in front of good crowds. You know, it's not uncommon for us to have 5,000-6,000 people in the stands here. So those are good crowds for here.
Yeah. So one of the things that's different for you, that when you were in the Mets organization and you were sending guys and there was an organizational, structure to it, and they wanted certain things taught at certain levels, and your job was to move them all. I know on media day here, you said your goal was to get these guys back to the majors, the guys that want to get to the majors, and give them the opportunity. How does that mind shift change when you're now developing guys for 30 teams?
Right.
What goes through your head when you do that?
You know, really, it's my whole mindset is you come here for one reason, that's to win, or to get picked back up by an affiliate or go overseas and play. That's why I want you here. And my number one thing is the same. It's I want to send you to a better place. You know, if you're managing, well, it doesn't matter where you're managing. If it's A-ball, AA, or AAA, I want to send you to the big leagues if you're in AAA. AA, I want to get you to AAA, so you get one step closer. So that's my whole mind thought in the players that I have even here today. I know that I got players in that clubhouse that probably aren't going to get signed. They're good quality players, and they're here for the other reason, and that's just to win.
The other thing, and I can't even believe I'm saying this, there are guys on that roster, the kid from Comac, Jesse Berardi, that was born after you stopped playing.
Right.
And they might not know your career. And I'll never forget this. I think it was, I forgot who it was, someone that was affiliated with the Baltimore Orioles. And, Eddie Murray actually went up to this prospect and told him you should do this. And he said, "What are you talking about, old man? This has got me to this level," and had no clue who Eddie Murray was. Buck Showalter told me this, and then Buck Showalter actually printed out a Wikipedia and went to the kid, and the kid was so. Are they aware of the type of career you had and the amount of guys you have sent to the majors?
I think most of them are. I mean, most of the players, when I'm signing those players, I give them a little bit of a background on me too, what I expect and what I've done too. So I'm sure that then they go right on their phones and Google it. So. And they see all the stuff throwing the bats and all that kind of stuff out. But I think that they do that. I want them to know who I am, but I also want to know who they are. So, the communication is probably one of the biggest things in baseball that needs to be just right. So,
what is the process? You said you sign the players, you're the manager. How does it work in terms of the general manager does what you do? How do you find the players? How does that process work?
Well, we do both. We kind of work together. Mike's up there and he'll find a player and he'll shoot me an email or whatever on the player. Wally, you like this guy? What do you know about it? And I'll turn around and I have tons of scouts in my phone, so I'll call scouts. I'll get reports on the players. Are they a good guy? Are they a bad guy? What's his pluses and what's his minuses? So I get all the information. So then we make a decision if we're going to sign him.
We know what type of player you were. Do you look for Wally Backman type players, or do you look for mixed fit? What do you look for in a player?
Well, everybody wants power and speed, so you try to put that together somehow in your lineup, with guys that'll blend together. I mean, chemistry is a huge part of the game. And you can have great players and no chemistry and you can't win, But, I like to have little team speed, a little power. We're lacking a little bit of power, but we got some guys that can hit some home runs, but not that big bopper. But, I mean, a lot of the guys I had in 19 that came back to play, Lombardo's and Mazzelli, those guys came back. Stassi playing first, I had him before. So a lot of these guys, the whole outfield pretty much, other than Charlie Tilson. I just signed him today. He's playing today. So he's a guy that I think was with the White Sox when the first game he got hurt real bad. And so, you know, they know about me. I know about them. I find everything out about this guy.
The one thing that always over the years always impressed me is that, you know, with the big league level, if a guy went down, I would text you about a certain guy, you know, on your roster, and you would give me the scouting report. It was always dead on. You know, I know you're working in concert with the front office, but do you miss, you know, looking at other players in that part of, you know, the evaluation process?
Oh, the evaluation of other opposing players? Yeah, I miss that. You know, I mean, it's fun to, you know, when people trust you and they ask you, you know, what do you think of this guy? Because you got trades going on all the time, all year long, and just not the big league level, but the minor league level. And yeah, I miss that.
Lastly, for me, one thing that struck me on media day, and you just reiterated it, is that your goal is to get these guys back to the major leagues. How much is the Ducks front office goal to get you to the major leagues as a manager?
Well, you know, and I've said it many times. You know, I've had opportunities, and I'm here to manage the Ducks and try to win another ring for these guys. You know, if those things happen, they just end up happening. And so it's my goal. It's not, they don't have to try to push me. Everybody knows who I am. So they can, you know, I worry about my guys. I'll worry about the other guys when I'm there.